All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for August 23rd, 2023. So the VTI email today had a nice write-up from Gabriel Grammaticus, who's one of the other primary instructors at VTI. I've worked with him for almost 20 years. He's got a really nice model here that looks a lot like the way we discuss craft work, where he's identified 5 different levels of expertise, moving up the pathway: novice, apprentice. What we call journeyman, he calls competence. What he calls expert, we call a craftsman. I like expert's fine. And then what he calls mastery, I call a meister. And has identified feelings and capabilities that go along with each one: the level of mastery, the intention of the trading, and the dominant emotional state, and what it's like kind of on the emotional roller coaster. So what I want to do is really give you an example of a craftsman. Luke has sent along, I guess, Luke, this is what, about our 5th year of working together, it feels like. Feels like 5th year. Yeah. And we've been beating each other up on systems. And here's an update on a DAX breakout strategy that he's been powering his way through here. So in the long evolution of Luke's career, as a novice trader up into what I consider to be an expert trader, he really has focused on learning by doing and doing the due diligence. I attribute that to his wife and large family and his accounting background, as he's very much taken personal responsibility of his work from day one. We started off with essentially the Kata 2 challenge years ago, before I think we even called it Kata 2. But it was to focus on EWZ and DIA, our 2 favorite training ETFs, and mastering all the patterns each day. And then after a year of solving that, we branched out into CLF as a way to do individual stocks to see if we could get more out of the extra volatility you get from a narrowly focused industrial company. And he did that for a year and had some astonishing results. And then you can see the result of the 2-year debrief on this at our site at tortoisecapital.net when he sort of got his brown belt test. And went through the numbers. And then the coaching session we did, where we said, all right, now we think it's time to look at the 5-minute Aussie versus the US dollar as a way to start getting a wider aperture. We wanted to not just have indexes and narrowly focus, but also something that was available to him 24 hours a day, very, very broad, tied to his region of the world, and has been looking to incorporate the insights from both the indexes and the stocks into the trading of the Forex. And as he got deeper into it, we were willing to make a trade-off kind of between frequency and details of trading, which is very intensive, to maybe simplicity and robustness, where we could come up with fewer rules, more broadly applicable, maybe leaving some of the rewards on the table in return for the power of simplicity and being able to trade every day in a professional manner. And so that's been the focus of this year. And where he is right now, which you'll be interested in because we're going to turn this into a course in the next month or so, that he's getting a lot of trades per day, lots of frequency. So it's a see the setup, hit it, take the exit, see the setup, hit it, take the exit, see the setup, hit it, take the exit. And so you're getting a lot of iterations on standard patterns multiple times a day. Now, what's interesting is we've been looking at this through two lenses. One of them is that the per trade capture is, using our coin flip analogy, it has about a 67% win rate and 33% loss rate. So that gives you a coin flip that's 2 to 1. Correction. Let me say that all over again. Erase that from your memory banks. The win rate is 52 to 40. I got ahead of myself. The payoff is 2 to 1. Yeah. So it's a fair coin, and the extra bonus that you get from the win rate pays for all the commissions, that extra 0.04. But the beauty is the reliable 2 to 1 win rate. So heads I win 2, tails I lose 1, and there's no admin costs. So let me say, I wanted to say that correctly. Now, he's getting enough frequencies on this, the number of trades a day, so that if he did, 10 trades a day, whatever that number is, you'll see that in the course. If you just aggregate that into a single daily trade and took the entire trade basket, the results of the day, as a single trade, what you get there is an R capture of 0.54 a day, and you get a coin flip that pays 6.2 to 1. All right, so that you're getting 6 out of 7 days are winning days. And that's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? So he's got a coder working on to automate it completely for his trading system. And we're working to complete the graphics and the rule sets. The SQN on the individual trade stats is 3.4. When you express the SQN of the daily capture, 8.22. And he's capturing weekly R of 2.5 to 1. 2.5 R a week. That course is going to go for a premium because it will be bulletproof and straightforward, and it works on Forex. So let's be ready for the 5-minute Aussie or DAX breakout in the very near future. That's going to be a premium course because that is a system for life. So just hat tip to Luke for doing the hard work. I still remember our first discussion about and I asked you if you really want to do the work. Oh, who asked me? Dan Blum asked me, what is the SQN of daily capture? If you just took the whole day, Dan, so if I had 5 days in a week, and this system generates a number of trades each day, and the individual trades have this kind of characteristic. 52% are winners, and they pay 2, and 48% are losers, and they lose 1. So if you took every single signal every day, and there are multiples, and then you rendered the net result of the day, you would average 0.54 R a day, and you would have 6 out of 7 days are winning days. And if you did 100 days of that system, which he just completed, and then you put an SQN on those 100 trades, your SQN would be 8.2. Clear? Okay. Now what that means is that you have a machine, when you turn the crank, R comes out of it in lots of chunks. Statistical reliability. That is a machine that makes R. All right. So what you're getting is between -1 and +2 is you're getting the average way to the right of the zero line and lots of repetitions. And it is the aggregate of all these positive trades that are giving you reliable SQN, as opposed to a histogram which has a bunch of trades in here that are not positive expectancy, and then way out on the tail you get a couple trades that have huge R's. That is not a reliable system. This is an industrial system that he's put together. All right, so yesterday I showed the trade of the day, Rivian, and Miguel asked me why did Rivian come up on the screen. Well, first of all, Rivian is one of the standard tradables that I use. So my hybrid swing system, there's about 20 symbols on there. Rivian is one of them. That's the trade from yesterday on the swing, which we closed today. And he was asking on the 3-minute, if we looked at that, what brought that trade to our attention. This is the swing version of that. The actual day trade version of it was an entry about there and an exit down around in here. Well, how did that come to our attention? First of all, I watch every one of those symbols every day right from the open, and every one of them is prepared for a 30-minute trade and a 3-minute trade. Those are the things that I trade every day. And so when this broke below the OR3, that comes up as an alert for me. Okay? And it gets my attention, and I can make a decision in 1 second on every one of those symbols because I've traded them every day for the last 5 years. Now, when we zoom in on that, I want to show you a little more detail. First of all, the end of day picture of that is this. This is what it looked like day before yesterday at the close. All right. So on a swing basis, this thing had already rolled over, gave me an RLXD, the PSAR had flipped, it went into the fall, into the winter, bottomed out, and slowly started to increase. So that is the highest priority trade I can possibly have because it terminated in a doji with a higher low. So what that means is I'm ready to trade this as a 1, 2, 3 entry on a mechanical basis right from there. And I'm ready to trade it below this on a mechanical basis, treating this just as the yellow zone. So without even looking at the intraday, I can make those trades, and I have those alerts set. Now, what I want you to notice is that the close was right here. Oops, I should put that in black so you can see it. The close was right there. There we go. And the high of the day was very close to that. All right. So there's a tiny little doji. Now when I scroll up and I'm looking at the intraday trade, because I love the intraday trade on this thing. Stand by. This is how that closed going into the close of the day. And this is the close right here. This was very near the high of the day. And the close was right here. And this was the previous belly of the RL10. And it gapped, and it closed here, and it gapped up to here. It rose this high, and then started to reverse, came down this low, and then closed here. So that sets up an OR3 for me that I have to get in right here on the short side, or here on the long side. So in 3 minutes, I can check each of the symbols in my 20 standard tradables 3 or 4 times. And when this alert hits, that's an instant short for me. If you don't take that short, which is a standard entry, then you have to take this one because it's also a collapsing dragon. And then you get that move, and this is what your risk box looks like. Either here if you take that entry, or here if you take that entry, and right out the gate, from here you get 1, 2, 3, 3R in hand in the first 10 minutes. That's the no-brainerest trade that there ever was. So the question in the chat room was, how did Rivian come to mind? Because it's on my list of standard tradables that I study every day. And it ran all the way down to 2050 from 21, 20, that's a 75-cent move on a 20-cent R10. So that's almost 4 to 1 just to here. And then the re-entry gives you the same trade twice here. So that's where that, to answer the question from yesterday. All right, let's go to the 30-minute portfolio, the standard tradables. Starting with Alcoa, and this is all 30-minute charts. Yesterday we started the Kata 2, and today it just kind of cruised along. It's sitting at about 0.5 R in hand. It didn't fail, so there's a good chance for that to move tomorrow. AI, we reinitiated the Kata 2. It's moved 2R in our favor with the standard risk box. That is just lather, rinse, and repeat, fellas. There's the trade. There's the trade. It's the same thing. Standard risk in every case, just following the rules. My brother's Amazon, he should have done pretty well on that one today. Caterpillar initiated the Kata 2, standard risk. Cliff Natural Resources, studying it. Missed that move at the end, but I'll be ready to re-enter that tomorrow. CVS, it's still locked to me in a sideways quiet, although we're going to see some of the traders got paid on that one. Sideways quiet channel and Dish. Devon Energy, I tried this one. This was yesterday's close. This was a big gap down and a harsh sell-off, and then like a 1, 2, 3 entry. So I gave that one a try. It ran up and then down, and then I got out of it by the skin of my teeth with a no lose plus dinner for 2 and no overnight risk. So that's one that did not follow through. Electronic Arts, smash. So here is the Here was the short that we closed a couple days ago. There was the SSC entry. It was late. Could have had it here, waited to see what it would do. It followed through yesterday, so we got the entry, which closed well. And then today it gapped up and then continued to go. So now we are 2 positions in, +3 on that one and +1 on that one. So we are net 4 and looking good. And the target would be here at 123. Standard work. Emerging markets, beauty. Now here's the benefit of those tight risk boxes. We got the COTA 2 entry. It closed well. It held and closed well. We kept it overnight. It gapped up in our favor, gap and go, and it zoomed up into here. So better to be lucky than good, but following the rules. We are +6 on this one and +3 on that one, so we're at +9 on two positions. Ethereum, standard COTA 2 re-entry, standard risk, 2R battle drill, closed very well, 5R. Mexico, emerging dragon, gap up and go, COTA 2. There's 19 different reasons to have bought it there, and it's given us +3. That was a beautiful intraday trade too. Even better is its running buddy Brazil. Here was the SSC. It was a gap and go, intraday reversal, enter, closed well. Gap up today, enter, 2R battle drill. That one's holding 9R, tight risk, and it is, when you look back, it is so far above resistance, that one could really go, because today was the first strong day in the S&P. Intel started the emerging dragon. IP started a SSC. IYR, we're in the second day of, this was the SSC, closed well. Today was a gap and go. Got 2 positions on that one. That is holding 4, 2, and 1. That's 7R on 3 positions. And I'm looking for it to get back to this resistance level at around 85 even. Covered the short in regional banks. Mattel, I hated this one, but it closed well. It gapped up and stabilized. Today it sold off, gave me the reversal, added a second position. This is one of the advantages of just letting these things cook for a little bit. Here's 5R on that one and 2R on that one. That's 7R on 2 positions in Mattel. Feels like it's back. McDonald's, half an R. But the this is like a sideways quiet channel yesterday. Today it gapped up and started to go, and then started to collapse. Took a 0.5, like a no lose plus dinner for 2, no overnight risk. It was after the RL10 rolled over. Merck. So this was yesterday's short. We held it because it was it closed so poorly, and then here was the gap up against it. So this holding overnight in this case allowed us to experience taking a +2 in hand and turning it into a -1.5. So that's a -3.5R gap. And there was a revenge trade in there, but I was having nothing to do with it. You take your lumps and you move on. Microsoft re-entered the emerging dragon, holding about a half an hour. Marijuana, no trade, stalking. Nvidia, we enjoyed, excuse me, we enjoyed that 3-position win. Yesterday it stabilized, today it gapped. We re-entered 1, and it's holding 2R, and it's already above So we are at the emerging dragon, ready for a second position tomorrow. That is going to be a big win, I believe. We'll see if my belief has anything to do with what it does. There was a -1, there was a +1 on the SSC. More of a revenge trade than anything. Rivian, so we had this residual trade. Whoops. We had this residual trade from yesterday's short. It closed here and started to recover. We took the RLXD. Yes, who was it? Lou says NVIDIA was up over $500 in the aftermarket, so that's going to do well. Let's see if we can see the... Yeah, if it's trading up over 500, that's going to be a massive win tomorrow. Almost makes me wish I had more on there, but I've learned to discount that. Miles to go before the open anyway. So that's Rivian. That was the residual, and we covered the short. The S&P is starting to motor its way back north. It's halfway back up the stack to the 10-day high. That's pretty good. Treasuries, I missed that move completely. It's halfway up the stack back to the 10-day high. So both of those are working. Tesla re-entered the COTA 2 after cashing a nice little short-term intraday. And U.S. Steel, we had that position from a couple days ago. It felt like dead money. So when it came back and hit the PSAR, we took a half an hour. It closed poorly in the last hour of the day, and we'll see how that goes. Let's see. All right, so this is a couple sniper trades today on the 3-minute. You know, the guys at work were asking me, hey, what are you going to do if you're not coming back to work until January? What are you going to do with yourself all day? Well, here's an example. More time to trade. 3-minute chart. This is ETHE. Now remember, ETHE is an exchange traded note. It can go long only. So here is the close. There's a PSAR flip. Come on, damn it. So we get the OR3 entry to our battle drill, 4-hour battle drill, exit for 7R. Again, that's one that can only go long because it's an exchange traded note, but that's it's connected to the Ethereum ETF. And there's 7R. This one is what is this? AI? Yeah. So here was the close yesterday. Here's the OR3. It failed, so we took the short. It reversed. We take the -0.3. Come on. So that's the PSAR flip and reversal, standard risk, 2-hour battle drill, and then exiting on the PSAR flip. And so this one earns, so that's -0.3. This one earns 1, 2, 3, 3.5, and then this one earns 1.5, net 4.7 on AI and no overnight risk. Let's get a couple in here from my brother. All right, so this is Snowflake. A standard sniper entry on this is a 30-minute chart. Standard risk, 2-hour battle drill, 4-hour battle drill, about plus 5, 3, and 1. That's about 9R.
Yep.
AI, there's 9R and holding.
One position.
Yeah, which is slightly underwater, but he's net 7.5 for the day. He is basically allowing the intraday trade to pay for the overnight risk on that one.
Yep.
NVIDIA, this is about, God, that's about 8R. And he's re-entered on the COTA 2. And that's about, he's holding 2 positions.
Yep.
Boy, how massive is that going to be when it's trading above 500 right now?
I have a buddy of mine that was doing what you had mentioned, another trader yesterday that was doing well in NVIDIA. He's
Yep.
holding it since 147.
Yeah.
Just he's getting. I think he's going to retire tomorrow.
He's going to retire on NVIDIA. I mean,
Yep.
you can learn a lot just by watching, but if you want to make money, you got to do something.
Yeah. You sound like Yogi Berra there. You
Yeah.
can observe a lot by just watching.
Yeah. Okay, there's your Amazon. That's the first cycle on your Amazon trade. Standard work.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Rad. And he's working the Forex because he has a day job. Got to respect that. Comes off the day job, gets set up, finds the PSAR flip, smashes it for 1.7. Then these two scratch, so total off for the day 2.6. Making fewer and fewer errors, check. He has to work on the transition between day job and trading job, but literally a stress-free day, and was totally detached emotionally from the trades. That's what that DAX
Zoom
futures breakout is going to give you in Luke's system as well. And because it trades 23 and a half hours a day, you have very few constraints. I'm just saying.
Yep.
I think we're going to put together a trading room just to do that one by subscription. All right, here's Brian. And I owe Brian some feedback on his intern work. But here's the open and then the rollover. That's so much a collapsing dragon and instant payoff. He makes 4R today. He's up 21R on 40-some trades. He's got a rolling expectancy of 0.7. And he didn't even stick around for the rest of the trade. Because why not? Here's essentially a 2 execution R from Jose. Standard work. Aligned with... Notice how he's using the Red River. He finds the exceptional move at the start of the exceptional move. Plus, it's a collapsing dragon pattern. And there's the harsh winter that we're hoping to see in such an orderly manner in CVS. And then in Intel, He sees the breakout occurring in here. Let me draw that one so you can see it. He doesn't even take. There's your PSAR flip. So that's a legit entry with an exit at the dragon. But even if you don't take it, the day's not over yet. Now notice he gets a summer, fall, summer outside of the Red River. That means go. Go and an orderly dragon exit. I mean, this stuff, the script writes itself.
Yeah, if he could get that MACD, the Four Seasons of the MACD coded on this, he would kill it.
I mean, he's kind of getting it right there, but
Yeah, I know.
straightforward. Yeah,
It's
even easier. It's even easier to see.
Yep.
Sometimes simplicity is best.
No, I'm not
And
mad at
yeah, here's a kata 2. There's a 1, 2, 3 entry, and here is again your summer, fall, summer. Go, and gets paid again.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him. That's for sure.
And last one. Here's one that doesn't pay off as much, but he's right in the regular wheelhouse, right where he's supposed to be, and so you don't lose anything. That's what we got for today, boys and girls. I'll get the reports printed and posted, and we go watch the rest of the idiot Republicans on there. Hey, I'll tell you, the guy that needs it is Vivek Ramaswamy. 100% in support of him.
Jose, asking how he does that. I don't know because I don't know what you're using. Are you on TC 2000, Jose?
Looks like it.
Ah, maybe we can send him a
yeah, I'll look at
layout.
that. Yep. All right, guys, that's everything we got for today. Take good care.
You got it, man.